My name is Snowy. That's spelt with an E to differentiate between a name and a weather condition. That's a nickname that goes back to when I was at school, when I used to have hair and it was white as the driven snow, so everybody used to call me Snowy. Anyway, real name is Reg. I live in Southampton. I'm just coming up for 70-ish. Back in the late 60s, early 70s, as a horrible little skinhead, I used to ride around on a Lambretta LI 150. Great fun. That didn't last too long though. But my father was a very keen motorcyclist, the scourge of Sussex. Used to ride around on a Vincent, hence my brother's name is Vincent, after the bike. We always thought it was a Vincent Black Shadow, but as I've now got older and a bit more wiser, and I've looked at the picture, which hopefully I'll be able to bring up on the screen somehow, quite shiny parts, like bright work, tends to make it look more like a Vincent White Shadow rather than a Vincent Black Shadow. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I sort of must have taken after my father because I've always had hankering to get back onto bikes. So I'm not really a born-again biker. I'm just somebody who likes bikes and I likes to ride them. My story starts probably early 90s. I had a hankering to get onto two wheels and bought myself a little CB 125, little black tank, nice red and silver striping on it. And with L plates on, I used to ride over to Hindhead and have various lessons, and then did my test around Aldershot. Passed my test on that one. Had a shop around for something bigger and fell in love with two bikes really. Toss up between a Honda VFR and a Suzuki Intruder. Extremely different bikes, obviously. It all came down to availability in the end, and I sat down one day with the telephone and phoned a few places and actually found an outlet in Kidlington near Oxford where they had a brand spanking new cherry red and chrome Suzuki 800cc Intruder, crated, ready for sale. So I arranged with the dealership to ride my little 125 up there and came away on the 800cc Intruder. Lovely bike. I enjoyed that immensely and had that for probably about 3 years. Had a little bit of a incident on it which involved braking, steering, changing gear, changing road surface and direction all at the same time, which didn't come out too well. And the bike got a bit damaged. I took it back to Kidlington to have it repaired. I won't go into the rest of the story of that because I could get done for libel or something if I start saying things about the outlet. Whether they're still in business or not, I don't know, but with what they did to my bike while they had it, I wouldn't be surprised if they're not in business anymore. Anyway, I had that bike for maybe 3 years, and then through various bits and pieces going on with marriage and boilers breaking down and all that sort of stuff, the bike went. That was 97. I've been pretty much off the road again as it comes to two wheels right through to the year 2000. Must say that during that period of time I pretty much felt like I'd had my legs chopped off not having a motorbike. So having an ex-brother-in-law down in Cornwall who's well into his bikes, I started to get a hankering again and had a little look around and settled on a Royal Enfield. I fell in love with the Royal Enfield Continental GT 650 with a chrome tank. So I decided I was going to go out and get one. Anyway, I came back from Cornwall and did a bit of online stuff and found that there was a Royal Enfield dealer about a mile and a half away from where I lived. So I scooted on down there one day, walked in and saw Rob there, garage number 7. It's called Garage 7, in Shirley. And I went and saw the guy there. His name was Rob. Told him what I wanted. And bearing in mind this was right through the middle of COVID at the time, so I was pretty much told, yes, you can have a bike, but as it's all got to come from India, and with the way things are with COVID and the factories all shutting down or whatever, it could be months before it came. And I said, okay, whatever, placed the order. While I was there, Rob got his little chart out and said, okay, let's have a look at the various colour schemes, colourways, and see what you want. And he started going through them, and I said, no, stop, I want a chrome tank. He said, no, rocking horse poo, mate, can't get it. I said, well, if I can't have one with a chrome tank, I don't want it at all. Thank you. So anyway, long story short, about 3 weeks later, I got a phone call from Rob down at Garage 7. He said, I've got good news for you. I found you a bike with a chrome tank. So there we go. Got it, picked it up. And now we're into 2024 and I've done probably about 8,500 miles on that. And during that time, or the recent few months, my brother-in-law down in Cornwall, ex-brother-in-law Sean, told me they were going to go and do the NC 500, which I'd never heard of. So it's a trip around Scotland, to go right up to Scotland. drive around the north coast of Scotland, or ride round as the case may be, and back again. He talked me into doing it. Then I suddenly thought, you know what, I don't really fancy doing that on my Continental GT650. I'd looked at various videos of the NC500 and realised that some of the roads up there are probably not very conducive to riding that sort of bike on. And bearing in mind it was going to be, we planned about a 10 or 11 day trip. So the style of, the actual riding position on a Continental GT650, really couldn't see myself doing that. So I looked into getting another bike. Because I've been very inspired by Itchy Boots, Dutch girl by the name of Noralie Schumacher, who travels the world on her own with no support crew, no video crew. I'm now up to about season 8 on her travels, and that girl or that woman I should say, has got balls the size of planet, and some of the things that she's had to endure and some of the trips she's made are absolutely incredible. So inspired by that, I thought, well, I'll get myself a Himalayan. Royal Enfield had just brought out the new Himalayan, so I went and had a look at that. They didn't have one for me to test ride, but I sat on it and I thought, yeah, that's much more the style of bike that I think I'm going to need. After deciding that I was probably going to get one of those, I then came across the Royal Enfield Super Meteor 650. It wasn't so much come across it. My ex-brother-in-law down in Cornwall, he's got a Triumph Thunderbird, and he reckons that was a great bike to ride. But then he went and bought himself the Super Meteor and said it was an even better and easier bike to ride than the Triumph, for probably a fraction of the price to buy as well. So I then went out and bought myself one and put some engine bars on that and a couple of other little bits and pieces, pannier racks, etc. And that was my bike for the NC500. Anyway, going back to Noralie, having watched all her videos and things, I decided that it might be time for me to try and have a little go at this caper of putting together little videos of trips. Hence the reason I've launched this channel, Snowy's Trips. It's nothing to do with taking of white powder or little tablets of any sort. I've made a few little trips. I've only got a basic helmet cam and I've got a very old original GoPro, the GoPro Hero. So I've decided to make a few little videos of trips and to put them up just in case people have any interest in seeing them. To be fair, the quality's not going to be brilliant. Having watched Itchy Boots from the start, hers were much the same when she first started, and as she progressed and got better at presenting it, getting better equipment, her series have improved all the way through to the current Series 8, which she's currently riding through Turkey. That's enough of my spiel. That's who I am. As I say, I'm not really a born-again biker. I just love being out on my bike. And if you get any enjoyment out of watching any of the little clips that I'm going to post up, I should say, then all well and good. I'm not a professional. I'm not a boffin. I don't know all the technical bits about the bikes I've got. Like some of these lads know the ins and outs of a camel's arse. They'll sit there and talk to you all day about compression and cylinder stroke and all the other bloody stuff. Nah, not my cup of tea, mate. I just want to get my knees in the breeze and have a nice little ride. Anyway, enjoy. This is my first attempt then. This is helmet cam footage from my son Sean's helmet. He's riding his Kawasaki Ninja. We've been out for the day down at a little airfield near Shaftesbury called Compton Abbas. Lovely little place. And on the way back we decided to give Zig Zag Hill a try. I've been down it a couple of times before, but my son hadn't been on it, so we decided to give that one a go. It's a little road that runs up towards Sixpenny Handley from Tollard Royal, not far from Shaftesbury at all. So enjoy the ride. I'm sorry to say that I wasn't dressed for the slide. I was dressed for the ride that day. I don't normally go out without all my gear on, but that day I did. But it's a lovely little experience. It was a lovely day. And anyway, I hope it works out well. As I say, this is my first video going up onto YouTube. There are going to be more. Once I've had a couple of attempts at it, there'll be some good videos of the NC500 going up, which I talked about earlier. Anyway, enjoy.
Good fun. Excellent. Oh, and it really does open up as well. Lovely. Lovely! Beautiful Wiltshire. Catch you later, Dad. See ya.
There you go. Hope you enjoyed that. We certainly did. Anyway, hopefully see you for the next video. I'm not quite sure which one it's going to be yet, but anyway, keep an eye out for it. Bye bye.